Before we begin today's video, I would like to make a few things completely clear. Spoilers suck. A lot. Which is why I'm full-on warning you that the following content that will be discussed is 100% spoiler-filled and completely opinionated. Do not watch this if you haven't seen the latest episodes. If you're not a Rooster Teeth First member, you should still be able to view the episode as a free non-first member. And the latest episodes will be ready for you, non-first members, on the following Tuesdays, or depending on when your availability is. Okay? So let me fully explain on the whole scheduling regarding RWBY. October 14th was the date where Rooster Teeth First members will be able to watch the premiere of RWBY Volume 5. It won't be available for anyone else except for Rooster Teeth First members. 3 days later, the episode will be available for non-first members. Those are the people that are able to go onto roosterteeth.com and sign up using their email and password. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to provide your credit card information or whatever. Just your email and password. That's all you need to do. And the latest episodes will be available for these people 3 to 4 days after they're available for first members only. Then, the following Saturday, YouTube and Crunchyroll will be able to obtain the episode and everybody can watch it, basically. Okay? So Saturdays, every Saturdays, there will be a brand new episode that will be exclusive to Rooster Teeth First members, but the previous week's episode will be available for everybody else. If you are not cool with that long week wait, just get a non-first account. That's all you gotta do. And the episode will be available 3 to 4 days after they're available for first members only. Okay? I hope you got that. Please. If I see any complaints in the comments section regarding spoilers, I won't do anything. But you should be the one to be at fault for not listening to the warning that you're receiving right now. Also, if you disagree with our statements and have a different opinion, that is okay. Just let me know in the comments below on what you thought about the material we were discussing, and if it's totally different than ours, then we'll 100% accept it. I will accept it completely. But don't insult those who have a different opinion than you. We all have different opinions. That's the point of criticism anyway. That's the point of life. We're all different, so let's try not to start a flame war over differing opinions, okay? So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. What's up, guys? My name is Rakshata, and welcome to the Crimson Artist YouTube channel. And today is a special day. I've been wanting to do a RWBY review series for quite some time now, actually. In fact, last year when RWBY Volume 4 came out, I originally wanted to do something like this. Sit in front of a camera and give you my thoughts on each individual episodes of RWBY Volume 4. But I was personally caught up with a lot of personal stuff, which I won't name right now, because what's done is done. And now RWBY Volume 5 is upon us. It's been 2 weeks since the first 2 episodes aired for both Rooster Teeth First members, Rooster Teeth non-first members, YouTube, as well as Crunchyroll. So if you want to watch this show, or trying to get interested in this show, I recommend you either sign up for Crunchyroll, go on YouTube, and wait for every other week for the latest episodes to premiere on said YouTube. Or you go on to roosterteeth.com and just sign up for free. You don't have to do anything, just provide your email, and you'll be able to watch brand new episodes every Tuesday, not Saturdays. Saturdays is a little bit of a different story, where, like, Rooster Teeth First members will get the brand new episode, but YouTube and other public domains such as Crunchyroll and YouTube will be getting the previous week's episode on the same Saturday. So it's a kind of little bit of a tricky situation. All right. So right off the bat, I just want to point out that, as you can see, this is technically a reaction. It's a review, after all. Reviews are a specific type of reaction to said content, not generally looking at the video, having me look at the monitor, and there's another side
window of the video that I'll be watching, and then I'll give my commentary. If you want to watch a perfect reaction series on YouTube regarding RWBY, go subscribe to Murder of Birds. Okay? He is one of the key components to what makes this franchise so damn special, because I'm not a huge fan of reaction channels, honestly. I could care less. Personally, I think they just steal other people's content by basically showcasing the entire video, and then they just stare blankly at the screen, and then like they would say a few things, but not reactionary. They're like fake reactions. They're like, oh shit, oh this is dumb, oh my god, or something fucking stupid. And then at the very end of each said reaction, they're like, okay, yeah, this is something. This was a something video or whatever, or a trailer or whatever. And it's like, okay, I hope you liked the reaction, guys. Please hit like, subscribe, and if you want to see more reactions like this one, I will not give you my intake on my real intake on the video. This was my true reaction. That's not what happens with Murder of Birds. See, the first time I saw Murder of Birds was actually through Rooster Teeth themselves. They actually reacted to his reaction to chapter, I believe chapter 8 or 9 of volume 3, and that was pretty damn awesome. And I kind of see why he was called out, because not only are his reactions genuine, or like he actually cried about so and so's death. If you haven't seen, by the way, if you haven't seen the previous 4 seasons of this show, stop what you're doing and please go watch said content. It's worth it. You just need to have the patience. That's all. Like I said, it's on YouTube, Rooster Teeth, Crunchyroll, whatever. But back to Murder of Birds, I was like, okay, I can see why. And I actually met the dude a couple of times, both at RTX, so that was that was pretty cool. And he's a really cool individual. But I'm not saying that I prefer Murder of Birds more so than any other, because, well, he's part of the community and I know him. I met him a couple of times. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that his reactions are actually genuine. I can actually connect to what he is trying to say. He actually gives off full commentary, feedback, and criticism to whatever is happening. And yeah, and he is pretty much an example of why I think the Rooster Teeth community is more of a family than a community. Because if you really get down to it, communities are like places where you can just say hi, come in, say hi, and leave. There's something really opportunistic. There's no opportunities to come. But with the Rooster Teeth community, like whether if it's at RTX or at a RWBY private like Rooster Teeth screening via Fathom Events or Tug or whatever, I always feel like I'm part of I'm home, like a secondary home with a bunch of people from my secondary family. So it kind of feels pretty awesome to be a part of something like that. And hopefully this review series will help me be like, I'm kind of gushing all over. So like I said, go subscribe, go check out Murder of Birds. He's fucking awesome. Let's get down to the topic at hand. So today we're going to be talking about the first 2 episodes of RWBY Volume 5. Basically, it's going to be a pretty long discussion of said volume, as well as, but we're not just going to be talking about two of the first 2 episodes of RWBY Volume 5. Okay, you're everything's seeming pretty self-explanatory at this point because I just pulled this thing out. So, in Volume 1, the very beginning, this character right here was the model for this particular brand of cereal, Pumpkin Pete's Marshmallow Crunch. And at RTX 2017, they announced via FYE that they were going to be making this thing a reality, and voila, it's a reality. Now, I actually am not going to try this cereal out myself, because I'm actually personally going on a pretty strict diet at this point, so I don't want to ruin my diet plan by eating sugary cereal right now. So I'm going to have this guy, Magic! You probably recognize him if you haven't seen our previous reviews.
Name's Steve. Nice to meet you.
Well, Steve, want some breakfast?
You had to wake me up for this.
Take a seat. Let me open this up for you. There it is. It literally looks like Lucky Charms. But we don't know if it will taste like it.
That's good.
Well, dig in. Don't worry, it's not poison.
Yo's Neo. Hey, this is actually pretty good.
What does it taste like?
Victory, I think?
So, enjoying some cereal, huh?
It's pretty good.
Fuck my diet. Anyway, so we're here to talk about RWBY Volume 5's first 2 chapters. Welcome to Haven and Dread in the Air. So, it's going to be a pretty interesting conversation we're going to have right here. Right off the bat, I just want to say that one of the biggest highlights of RWBY as a whole is how the animation tends to evolve over time. From the very beginning, it started off very, very wonky, and they were working on the poser animation. Then they went to Maya.
They used Maya in it?
They used Maya for they started using Maya with Volume 4 as well as RWBY Chibi. But they had a totally different animation style back in Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and you can definitely tell the changes as we keep on going, right?
Yeah.
And while I did love the animation in Volume 4, especially the very ending of Chapter 2, where we see RWBY walking in the nightly forest looking for Jean, and then we have that scene where Jean is training via peer recording, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty solid animation. But then there were times, particularly at the very end of Volume 4, where the character models kind of like looked kind of wonky. For example, when Blake was tending to Sun's wounds after their first encounter with Elia, Sun is shirtless for the most part, but he doesn't have his white jacket, right? And he's just healing, and they're having their little heart-to-heart moment regarding Blake's situation in terms of, running away from her friends in order to keep them safe and whatever, which I still question why, if you're going to run away from your friends, why run towards your family, your parents? I mean, they're people you care about, and Adam claims that he will destroy everything that she cares about. But I already made my statements regarding volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the previous video before this. So if you haven't checked that out, it's on my channel. Just look it up. So the in that very scene, Sun does not have his jacket, and he looked really, really off, right?
Like he looked like super skinny or something.
Yeah,
Like, he actually looks like this YouTuber I saw called Medic Excalibur 2012. He does like a lot of Gmod or Team Fortress 2 videos, and in one video when I was like playing around for a little bit in real life, he looked like very, very skinny or something like that. And I guess the body type in that one actually looks. That Sun Wukong actually reminded me of that a little bit. I was like, oh my god, like give this guy a sandwich.
yeah, and he's supposed to be like pretty buff, right? I mean, he has freaking abs.
I mean, not as buff as say Hazel, but we'll get to him in a little bit. But at least maybe
Like he's pretty athletic. I mean, he's based off of a freaking monkey, okay?
yeah, from Journey to the West.
Exactly. And not only that, but like a lot of people were complaining whenever Yang did show up in Volume 4. Where were her boobs? Ah! Thankfully, at least from what we've seen so far via the character shorts and the first 2 chapters, that they definitely fixed pretty much everything at this point. I think the animation has definitely improved very, very well from the smooth crispness of the character motions to the lighting, as well as the character models have definitely been a touch improved. And you'll definitely see that when you watch the episode. So yeah, the animation once again looks incredible, and I hope they keep on improving as we keep moving forward, which is, by the way, Monty Ohm's signature motto. So, rest in peace. We love you. But let's talk about the actual episode itself. So the first episode was basically showcasing where everybody is at the moment. We see the rest of Team Ranger or Junior, however you want to fucking call it, I don't care, with Uncle Crow to Haven Academy.
We see Weiss with the pilot at the end of Volume 4, trying to get to like, I guess also Haven and stuff.
Well, everybody's converging to Mistral, except for Blake, who is still in Menagerie, trying to take care of the local White Fang in Menagerie. Clearly things aren't looking up for her because of a specific chameleon faunus. And Yang still on the verge of finding, but I think both her sister and her mother, which I think is a pretty interesting dilemma there, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because like at the very end of Volume 4, where we see her on her bike, and there are 2 different directions. We got the sign that used to say Kuro Yuri crossed out and it says bandits, and then we see the sign to Mistral, and the angle shows that it looks like she was heading to Mistral, right? But then again, everybody is pretty much converging onto Mistral except Blake, like I said. And we all thought that the line, "You are going to be in so much trouble when I find you," we all thought that she was referencing RWBY, because, well, she is going to be kind of in trouble because she basically ran out on her big sister, right? So, yeah, but then we meet her at the the Just Right gas station. That whole scene of... I love that scene, but we'll get to that in a bit. Like, she says that she's looking for Raven Bronwyn. Okay. Alright, so... Wait, which one are you going for? Are you going for your sister? Or are you going for your mother? Looks like you're going for your mother, but what about your sister? You're like... Well, like, one step at a time, literally. So, on to Team Ranger. They meet the professor, Professor Leo Lionheart, who is pretty much based off the Cowardly Lion.
From Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, as well as another character. You comment on which character he's based off of via the comments below. I think it was King Richard. I got to look at my my facts again.
Fact check.
Please do. We really need it. Then again, this is for not a high quality studio at this point. As you can see, we're trying to build. So
We're basement dwellers.
yes! Oh, shut the fuck up.
And we're proud of it.
Fuck off.
Just kidding.
Okay. So they're going to speak to Leo Lionheart about pretty much why the hell isn't the relic being secured? Isn't like, and this is where I was like a little bit concerned regarding the story arc with the fucking maidens and relics, and they weren't really clear on how they acquire said relics. Like they claim so. According to Uncle Crow, correct me if I'm wrong, that winter represents creation, summer is destruction, fall is choice, and spring is knowledge. I might be wrong.
Ding ding.
Really? Oh, I got it right. So, how do they acquire said relics, and where are they? Are they in a chamber? Are they in? Is it like the weapon Osmond uses, the cane? Is that a relic? What is it? What they need to elaborate that on a little more, and I'm pretty sure that they will explain it in future episodes. I mean, this is a 14 episode season, which, by the way, happens to be 20 minutes. The whole Yang bit in Volume 4, where like we were all, most of us Yang fans, were disappointed with the fact that she had very, very limited screen time, and like I couldn't picture why limit her screen time in Volume 4. But then I realized, okay, they had to go along with the show's time length and budget. Like, her story arc is so compelling. Probably, like, as of now, she's the second most compelling, has the most compelling story arc next to Weiss. But whatever now. What's done is done. And what we got via the character short that premiered on the day the season premiered.
That is just weird.
And that is awesome. So anybody who's a Rooster Teeth first, we were treated to something special. And anybody who isn't a Rooster Teeth first member, like, you still were treated with a Yang character short. So you should be happy. And that character short just, fuck yeah.
Yep.
Loved it. Loved that character short. Seriously. She's my favorite character. I cannot express that enough. Okay? Anyway.
Practically worship her at this point.
Yeah, whatever. Oh God, I need to get a new table. Anyway, so where were we?
We were talking about the gang shore, and then we were probably going to talk about another person.
No. We need to get back to the relics. Yeah. Anyway, so the relics needs to be explained on a little bit more, and that was my major concern about it. But with the Weiss bit in the first episode, we'll dwell on it a little more in the second episode, which we'll get to in a bit. So Blake has a little bit of an interesting situation going on regarding her position as the trying to take back the White Fang, right? She hasn't left Menagerie, and pretty much the White Fang, it was confirmed that the White Fang were converging to Mistral. possibly trying to do another attack on Beacon, but instead of Beacon,
It's Haven.
yeah. So that is going to be pretty exciting. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some character deaths. No one is safe in this world at all, unless
basically my quote for that.
Yeah, or pretty much anybody else's quote for this.
Unless you have plot armor, and yeah, not even that friendship armor is going to work in this.
Yep. And yeah, so anybody who is a character in RWBY is doomed unless they're in RWBY Chibi, then you're okay. Pretty much.
Seriously, did they do some sort of black magic to resurrect them just for RWBY Chibi?
Probably. I don't know.
Where's my tinfoil hat?
Take this jacket off. Woo! Perfect. So like I said, like she hasn't left Menagerie, and they were, Blake and Elia were having their little intimate moment regarding what's going to happen the very next day. How those two Fox White Fang members that we met in the last season, how something's not right here. Yeah, we knew it. They're working for Adam.
We decided they finally decided to show us that the two guys working from the White Fang that were clearly evil.
Yeah, who knew?
Sorry if that sounds like something from that heavy metal review by the Hagen Nostalgic. I don't know.
Like, okay, so you basically confirmed what we already knew, but Blake was already smart enough to know about that anyway. So whatever, I'll give her credit where credit's due. But yeah, that's kind of interesting just to note what they're doing for her character. I hope they do. Like, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm probably going to get some hate for this, and I don't want this to happen, mind you. But I'm pretty sure Blake's parents are going to bite the dust this season, because if you look at the very intro itself, where we see all 4 shots of all 4 girls, where 3 of them are looking up, which symbolizes them that, hey, they're progressing. They're trying to be better than what they were in the past, and that's what Miles and Carrie stated. What Volume 5 is basically about. But in Volume 4 is about loss, like dealing with loss, rejection, and feeling like you're not the best in the world, basically. Volume 5 is about getting better. And 3 of the characters looking up represents that they are going to be better. But there's one character that was actually looking down. I kind of, like, I've seen, everybody at this point has seen this intro about a dozen times, and it's friggin' awesome. But that one character is Blake, and I have a feeling something bad is going to happen to her. And I'm pretty sure her parents are going to die. And I don't want them to die. Kali Belladonna is best mom, okay?
Yep.
And I don't want them to die. Hopefully, if one of the parents were to die, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gira.
Probably.
I don't want Kali to die, but if it's going to be both, I don't know. We just gotta deal with it.
I suggest you hide if it actually turns out to be true.
God, like I said, this itself is a prediction. Okay, it's not confirmed. We haven't seen the 3rd or 4th episode. That's 2 weeks from now. We'll talk about that 2 weeks from now when this video is uploaded. But yeah, I don't want them to die. I really don't. But now with Yang, with her moment in this episode, we already discussed the whole Goldilocks references here and there. The not too big, not too lean, just right. That was kind
subtle.
That's very subtle, clever. And then, yeah, don't fuck with her hair, please.
Yeah, like this drunk dude who did, and, well... You could probably imagine what happened.
Yeah, you don't have to imagine it. Just watch it. He goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and out of the store! Speaking of that little moment where he goes... Those 10 minutes were up? Seriously? Oh, okay.
Still going?
Still going? Anyway.
It tricked you.
Fuck. Okay. Well, speaking of that whole scene regarding the whole boing, 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 drunk ass, whatever.
Cartoons.
Cartoon physics. People, some people might complain about that. And how it's unrealistic. It's so fake that it doesn't apply to our... Of course it doesn't apply to our world. It's animation. Animation is the style where your imagination can go absolutely haywire.
Well, I think maybe there's still at least some sort of rules, but what Yang did in there actually still has some possibility, but I think if someone doesn't want it to go, say, crazy stuff in 1930s cartoons or whatever, where you turn like an animal to some sort of musical instrument, I don't know.
Let's not forget to mention that this was made by a studio that specializes in crazy shit. So don't come bitching about the whole cartoon physics, like it doesn't apply to... Of course it doesn't. It's a cartoon. Okay? It's animation. You're supposed to go nuts. Even if it's
Just
this
like
nuts.
almost every single anime ever.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Moving on from that mini rant. And then, the very end credits scene from Volume 4 where Oscar Pine, a.k.a. Ospen, meets Crow in the bar was actually a scene meant for Volume 5 itself, and we just didn't know until when the episode came out. Drunkle Crow is best Crow. Let's just get that out there, okay? We all love Uncle Crow. Both on RWBY Chibi and on RWBY proper. He's the best one. Wait for it.
I'm actually also Ozpin.
I did it!
I wonder who would win the drink-off between Crow and the Demo Man from Team Fortress 2.
I wouldn't even imagine at this point.
Your ass and grasp my funk.
Oh god, this was just a really funny scene. It cements that the humor of this show just will never fade away. Despite how dark things get, the humor is still intact and it's still well realized. They should make another web series about that. Just kidding, they have plenty of that. Plenty of comics.
Essentially just went from a couple shows like Red vs. Blue, Achievement Hunter, and RWBY to essentially a goddamn empire.
Yeah, pretty much. So, want to talk about Dread in the Air, Chapter 2?
Sure.
Yeah, as you can...
For this one, aside from maybe one scene, this episode actually focuses a little bit more on the villains.
Yeah. Unlike the first episode where it shows what the heroes are doing, we see what the villains are up to, and I think this was, before Volume 5, or even Volume 4 came out, I was just not that impressed with most of the villains roster. The only characters I actually did get behind were Torchwick, which he is nom nom goodbye.
May he rest in peace.
There was Tyrion. Tyrion, he's my favorite. I love that guy. He's crazy as fuck.
Would you say Adam Torres or not really?
Adam Torres, yeah, absolutely. We'll get to him in a bit. And maybe a little bit of John Watts. A little bit, but we have seen little of him.
Wasn't it technically Arthur Watts?
I thought it was Arthur. Hold on a second. Yeah, it is Arthur Watts.
He's the guy with the big mustache.
That guy. Or should I say really, really evil Luigi.
So, Ouija. was thinking of that weird.
That was a terrible fucking impression. I'm sorry.
What mean time?
Show off.
Ha.
So. So.
What was that, man?
No.
Sorry if you were kind of going like off tangent or something. So, anyways,
I'm gonna cut that out anyways.
So we basically start off with Lionheart, or at least being informed by Watts that he needs to report to, well, save him.
Which he does, and at first, like, okay, Jennifer Taylor plays a pretty creepy and sinister villain, but I need more of her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, okay, she's just, fuck, don't mess with Salem, you know?
Yep.
Holy fuck. A better villain performance for Jen Taylor than evil Cortana. That's just, yeah. Sad truth, but that's what it is.
You made me quit Xbox because of that. Or at least just most of Halo 5 in general, or in terms of the campaign, just... I might come back at that if there's more good stuff from the whole Xbox backwards compatibility thing.
Okay, well, one issue at a time. Okay. But, yeah, we see how shitty of a situation Leo is in. He has to work with Crow, but at the same time work with Watts. That's a terrible situation to be in. Poor guy, seriously.
Yeah, I think he just found himself in a bad situation. I don't think he actually was in there willingly.
He kind of, well, then again, he is based off of the Cowardly Lion.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. Now we get to we'll finally talk about Weiss, aka the current best character of the show, in terms of her development. We see that she's a person that really, really wants to help. She has definitely improved strategy-wise. Her tactics, her maneuvers, her choreography overall, really well handled. Yeah, she had a good moment this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even the pilot, like a lot of people, you said that a lot of people were like complaining about the pilot's decision to not help that.
Or why it's not helping them the first time, or maybe she just couldn't get there.
Well, let's put our shoes in the pilots. Okay, you are just a random cargo flyer, right? You don't have any weapons. You have nothing on you. You're just trying to get to your destination as best as humanly possible, right? So someone trying to call for help is calling for help, and you, like I said, don't have any weapons. Would you go and help the person out when you don't have any weapons and you don't have anything else to protect? Like, the ship itself wasn't that durable, as you can see at the very end of the episode, where it just crashes down in Mistral itself. Like, would you go and help them out? And as you can see in the second episode, we see that they were going to be fucked anyway. So it doesn't really matter if his decisions were right or wrong anymore, right?
I guess.
So, yeah. But other than that, very, very cool fight sequence, action sequence. And it also shows how much of a step up in quality of the animation has become in terms of the action this time. And I really love that Lancer Grim, the mosquito, the giant beast. It kind of reminded me of a Futurama a little bit. Remember? Where they go on a planet that is all dedicated with bees, and it's one of my favorite episodes. It's probably one of the most.
I think I might need to check out a couple more Futurama episodes.
You gotta catch up, man. Basically, they go to a giant hornet's nest and they retrieve honey from it, and giant bees start attacking which, by the way, the stingers are poisonous and stings Leela, who doesn't die but goes into a coma. But go see the episode. It's awesome. It's on Netflix or whatever. Probably one of my favorite episodes, and definitely a heart-wrenching episode, actually. Seriously.
All right, now back on track.
Back to the episode. So yeah, I really like the design. It looked kind of creepy a little, but still, yeah. The design of Weiss's knight.
It's a pretty awesome design. In terms of like warriors from history, I always thought knights were pretty cool looking, and they're also like really cool looking in terms of like fantasy, in terms of fiction, like say, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, Dark Souls, Warcraft, all that stuff. And the one that usually appears from Weiss, I always think is a pretty badass design and stuff.
Yeah, and the sparkling dust effects were really, really well handled here. They looked seamless here. Very impressive. Let's talk about the White Fang, mainly Sienna Khan, and how amazing of a design and character she was.
But then she just gets killed off in one episode.
I hope to God, I hope that she reappears in a flashback scene or a flashback episode, because I actually liked her character. You know, she was actually she had a lot of interesting inputs that I did not agree with, of course, but they're very understandable, right?
And not to mention, she didn't want things to get like too far to the point where now everyone's crosshairs are aimed at the Flonnets and their fears are actually confirmed. Something that we have a bit of a problem with lately.
And it's no thanks to our very own Adam Torres, but we'll get to him in a bit. So can we talk about Hazel finally?
Sure.
So this big guy, almost as big as Gira, I think. I don't know, but he, according to him,
I call him Evil JonTron.
For me, more like Remnant Sabretooth, because of the sideburns and whatnot, the fact that he's big. I like his demeanor. He's very calm, very collective of the many villains we have on the show. We have pretty much what this show's version of the Joker is with Tyrion. We have a Clockwork Orange, who is no more. We have Cinder, which, by the way, I'm not a fan of this character at all. If you haven't seen my other reviews of this show, of seasonal reviews of this show, if I might add, I was never a fan of Cinder.
Unless it was RWBY Chibi.
Unless it's RWBY Chibi.
No, my nefarious plan!
There you go. She just, looked like one of those villains that was just, trying too hard. You know? She was basically like, I am evil. Bow down before me. Basically.
Which is probably why when she got, beat down pretty hard from Ruby's Silver Eyes
thing, whatever.
I was like, thank God, something bad happens to Cinder.
I mean, but, aside from that, I like that they finally gave her a reason now that she wants to take down RWBY for what she did to her. That is cool, but I'm just not a fan of her character. I like the voice actor. Okay? The performances overall have been very positive. I love them. Every single one of them does their job right. I really love them. They got Christopher Sabat.
Actually, they got a lot of people who usually does a lot of anime voice work with media.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
We have Christopher Sabat. We got Jeremy Lay as God damn it, what's her name again? She was the chameleon girl.
Ilya.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. And Sienna, who was basically the leader of the White Fang before. We'll get to what happened before. Well, yeah,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit.
She's also played by Monica Rial, who was in so many anime to count. I mean, Stalking and Pain, Stalking, Mary Jane and Fairy Tale. I think she was Bulma in some of the later
Basically,
Dragon Ball
the
stuff.
show has acquired some pretty intense voice actors. Uncle Crow is another example. Vic.
Vic Mignogna.
Yep. He, if you know who Vic is, come on. Full Metal, dude. Full Metal Alchemist. Go watch it. It's fucking awesome.
He was also on Fairy Tail. He was Margir, King of the Underworld. I know I bring up that show a lot, but it's also because Barbara Dunkelman herself appeared on it once. I think she was Cosmo. She was that weird plant girl in one of the arcs, but yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm cutting that out.
Seriously, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from all
Okay,
that, it's definitely.
hold on. Go.
But yeah, from all that, it's interesting to see how like all the voice talent they've been getting lately.
And with Hazel, oh my god, it's so calm, so collective, so understanding, and probably the most sane villain of the show.
When basically Sienna is basically berating him, and then at the end, as well as being not happy that a human, or in this case Hazel, is in the vicinity, she pretty much tells her guards to take him away, only to find out that they've essentially pledged their loyalty to Adam. And then when Sienna says she was not going to go down without a fight, Adam immediately stabs and kills her, and he pretty much tells the guards to say a human huntress is what killed her.
A lot of people are going to hate I hate Adam, but in a good way, because that's what villains are supposed to do, make you hate them.
But now it's actually making me wondering how violent his death is probably going to be. Like, I'm not even sure if he's one of the types of villains who can be redeemed.
And I mean, here's the thing. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Saren Arterius from Mass Effect. Before he became a Spectre, before he became the villain that we know from that game, he was a Spectre, and a very, very well-respected one at that. But then he went a little over the edge and killed Nihilus, a fellow Spectre, and vows to bring back a sentient race of machines that sole goal is to wipe out all sentient life in the galaxy. He went nuts. He went evil. He was an asshole. But depending on how you play it, it is an RPG after all, you can actually try to redeem him. And in the end, he does redeem himself.
By shooting himself.
Which was, yeah.
It was like, goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
Yes. Spoilers for those who haven't played Mass Effect 1, but then again, it's been
10 years.
Yeah.
You should have. Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has been that long. But, yeah, go play Mass Effect. The first 3 games. If you're not a fan of the third one, then the first 2 games. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But with Adam, I'm pretty sure they're going to have something similar to him, that he's like really megalomaniacal at this point. He's
like more violent Magneto or something.
Or in this case, Saren. He's basically Saren. I'm pretty sure he's going to be redeemed in some way, shape, or form, but not in the way you would think. Well, we don't know. We'll see.
So he might either be redeemed. He either might be killed by the heroes. He might get viciously mauled by Grim. He might get some punishment from Salem if he fails to uphold his end of the bargain or something. Who knows what might happen.
Yeah, who knows? Really sucked to see Sienna Khan go out like that, man. I really wanted to see more of her.
Like, if they were going to kill her off, I would have at least been okay with at least 1 or 2 more episodes.
Possibly, hopefully they would she would appear in, a flashback of sorts, including with one, Summer Rose. I'm still holding out hope for a Team Stark flashback. I really hope so. Speaking of Team Stark, Raven appears at the very end of this episode, capturing Weiss.
But not before kicking her in the face.
Well, she still captured Weiss either way.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. At this point of the show, like, this is
Is
something
Raven
that
even a good guy at this point?
we don't know. We don't know what she is. Is she good? Is she bad? She's kind of like an anti-hero.
Mention if that's the case.
She's the leader of a band of bandits.
And here's another thing: if she's essentially acting like all that, why did she even save Yang in Volume 2?
Here's what I'm gathering at. Okay, Crow is not a fan of the Shnees. If you haven't seen The World of Remnant last year, he basically states it out loud that he is not a fan of the Schnee Empire. And Weiss, who is a Schnee, kind of got shit on a lot throughout the entire series. From Crow pushing her to the side, to that trumpet dude, Flint Cole, him,
And also
berating her.
Blake.
Yeah, Blake. And now Raven. Raven, let's not forget that she is Crow's twin sibling. They are kind of alike to some respect. She also might have some animosity towards the Schnee Empire, to the Schnee Dust Company. She doesn't know Weiss ran away, she just knows that Weiss is a Schnee, and Schnees are to be hated, right? Mm-hmm. So that's possibly the reason why, okay, we have something that Jackass Schnee. Yes, I'm calling him Jackass Schnee because let's face, no, fuck off. It's Jackass Schnee. Moving on. They have something that the Schnee Dust Company would probably want to have back. The fact that this is going to be 20 minutes long, it absolutely pleases me, and so much so. This show has come a long way from 16 episodes to 12 episodes to now 14, but in terms of the animation quality keeps on improving. The storytelling, I think we're going to have another Volume 3. Not in terms of how tragic things are going to get, which, let's face it, they are, but of how smooth the writing will be this season.
A lot of people usually said that Volume 3 was the best volume out of all RWBY.
And I think if they play their cards right, Volume 5 might be better than Volume 3.
We'll have to wait and see how it goes, though.
Yeah, but yeah. So every 2 weeks will be a brand new review of 2 episodes. 2 episodes per review, and there are 14 episodes this season. So let's have some fun. I really did hope you enjoy this pilot episode of RWBY of the series of RWBY reviews. I might not have a similar opening to what we have today with him eating fucking cereal. Maybe that's what we should do. That you start off eating a bowl of cereal, and we'll just talk about the episodes. I mean, we have plenty of cereal after all. Might as well just go. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let us know what you thought about the first 2 episodes of RWBY Volume 5. Did you like them? Did you hate it? Do you have some concerns that if you disagreed with our opinions of our statements regarding these 2 episodes, feel free to let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Also, let us know what you thought about this overall setup right here, because I might.
And probably you're still probably going to be wondering why the heck during some edits in this video, this guy is wearing a suit jacket and other times he's not.
Well, they saw me take off the suit.
I need it. God damn it.
Power of editing. Either way. Power
Alright.
of editing. The other reason, you probably remember that early on when you saw him eating his fucking cereal, there's some pretty intense lighting here. I was just testing out the lighting and shit. I hope you don't let me know if you did like the lighting. If you didn't, I can I won't use those particular set of lights ever again. I'll have to find some alternatives. But let us know what you think about both RWBY Volume 5's Chapter 1, Welcome to Haven, and Chapter 2, Dread in the Air, as well as what you think of the setup. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you not want to see this again? Or, well, I'm clearly going to be doing this again within 2 weeks, of course. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm Raj.
Steve.
And we'll see you later. Please hit like, subscribe. Have a good one.